I've got a question for you. Where were you this time last year? And where will you be this time next year? You're listening to the Master Your Lens podcast, the first episode of 2021, episode 187.
Hey, John Lee Dumas here, the founder and host of EO Fire, and welcome to the Master Your Lens podcast, the photography podcast dedicated to sharing inspiring stories, technical tips, and powerful secrets to help you become a better photographer. And now, your host, Matthew Jordan Smith.
Hello, Photography Nation. Happy New Year. Akimashite omedetou gozaimasu, which is Happy New Year in Japanese. Wherever you are in the world, Happy New Year. We've all made it past 2020 into a brand new year. Recently, I was talking with one of my students, and we were talking about this time last year. So I want you to think about that. Where were you last year this time? January 6th, 2020. When I think about where I was this time last year, I was in the United States. I'd flown there for CES. I was there for less than 24 hours to speak at CES. And then immediately after speaking, I ran to the airport and flew to Detroit. I had a shoot the next day in Detroit, so I had to make it to the airport, get on the plane, and fly there for my shoot. A year later, it's a very different world, as we all know. But today it's not about me. I want you to think about where you were last year this time, but not in the physical location. Where were you in your photography last year this time, and where are you today? Maybe the better question is, where do you want to be a year from today, January 6, 2022. Now that date, it just feels weird to say it, 2022. It still feels weird to say 2021, honestly, but we're here. Thank God we are all here. And wherever you are in the world today, be thankful that you made it. You made it past 2020. And that's a lot to be thankful for. Today, I want to start the year by telling you a story. The story is about one of my students who is in Israel. Last year, this time, she was in my one-on-one class. With all of my one-on-one students, we meet twice a month, and we go for a year. And the goal is to get you to your next level, whatever that is. My student in Israel, her name is Catriella. And a year ago, Catriella had never been published before. She'd never had an exhibit before. But I believe she is a very talented photographer. But she didn't believe that. So my goal was to push her to create more work and to put that work out there. We set goals for the year, and then we started working toward those goals. Now, since I've known her, I've watched her work grow. And the wonderful thing about being a coach is you get to see people grow right in front of your eyes. I watched her create this amazing body of work. And I said, Catriella, this is amazing. You need to do more of this type of work. And I pushed and pushed, and she responded and grew. She'd do a shoot. I'd critique the work. She'd go back out, correct what needed work, and come back with new work. And little by little, she got better and better. And I watched the work blossom. She was creating some really unique images. It's funny when you're creating really beautiful work, you may not be able to see it because you're in your own bubble. Sometimes it takes somebody outside of your world to see the real magic and then push you to create more magic. And that's exactly what happened. And her work got better and better. And everyone noticed. And then one day I said, Catriella, these would be amazing as an exhibit. The world needs to see this work. Now, right away, she said, well, I've never had an exhibit before. But this work was phenomenal. And I felt if you just put this work out there, things will come. But first step was to create more work. So we had small goals, one step at a time, to create more work. She'd do the work, bring it back, we'd look at it together, and then we'd tweak it. I'd send it back out to create more work. We did this the first 6 months of the year, and I watched her grow. Now, of course, the first 6 months of 2020 was a pretty intense amount of time, and for my student, it was also intense for other reasons. Someone very close passed away. Then the pandemic hit. All of this was stressful, but diving into this work was not only good photographically, it was therapeutic. It was healing. And I watched her work get better and better and better. Each and every shoot, we go through and dissect the work. I give her a new assignment. She'd go out and shoot it again. When working on a body of work, you can't always do it by yourself. You need a team. I believe TEAM stands for Together Each Achieves More. Now, here I am in Tokyo. She's in Israel. But still, we are a team. I was the coach, she's the player, and then she brought in other supporting staff to help her bring her dream alive. It was wonderful seeing this happen step by step. And the funny thing is, when you are in the midst of doing something, you can't really see your growth. You can't see it until you step back and see how far you've come. I watched her create more of this work. I critiqued the work, asked her to add elements to the work, tell her what I thought was really powerful, and have her create more of that work or in that vein. What I loved about this process, she was dedicated, and she went out and created more work each and every time. And the more she did it, the more others started to notice. After a while, a lot of people were noticing as she grew, as the work got better. So much so that a curator noticed the work. Now the goal was to get an exhibit, and she never had one. And sometimes we don't know how to get to that next level. And when we don't know how, that can stifle us because we're thinking, how do we get there? But sometimes it's not up to us to think about how to get to that next level. Our job is to just create the work. Sometimes how we get there is beyond our own understanding or beyond our control. So right now, if you don't know how to get to your next level, if you can't see it, don't worry about that part. Your job is just to keep creating amazing work. Now, as you do the work, it may not be amazing the first time out, but you look at the work, critique the work, tweak the work, and get better and better step by step. Let's say you start today in shooting and trying to get better. Each and every time you look at the work, maybe you find somebody who you trust to look at the work, to find out what you need to tweak to make better. Then you go back and shoot again, being cognizant of what needs work, tweaking those small things step by step. In the process of doing it, it seems like nothing's changing. But when you look back 6 months later, you see major growth. With Catriella, in 6 months, we had amazing growth, and people started to notice. Like a curator who there in Israel saw her work and said, "Whose work is this?" And from that point, things started to happen. I'm really happy to say Catriella had her first exhibit in 2020. She had her first exhibit In Israel, it went up September 1st. And it's still up today. It will come down on January 9th. The show has been up since September, her very first show. And it's gotten a lot of press, a lot of attention. And now, today, January 6, 2021, she's looked back at her year from last year and can see amazing growth because this time last year, she didn't even believe she could have an exhibit, much less a solo, big exhibit. It was supposed to come down the end of the year, but it got extended until January 9th. All things considered, it was not a bad year for Catriella. Impressive. But it doesn't stop there. Now that she has this amazing body of work, now that she knows the process of working to have a goal and doing it step by step and seeing what happens from that one step to the next step to the next step and how those steps lead to you running down the road to make your dream come to life, make your goal come to life. That does something to you. Imagine you seeing a goal you've had that you didn't believe could come to fruition, seeing it come to life. Imagine how that will make you feel. Right now, think about a goal that makes you a little scared. Maybe you don't fully believe you can do this. That's the type of goal you need. One that makes you shiver in your boots. But once you have one goal like that, and you work hard and watch that dream come to life, you then have the courage to go out and push even further. So right now, that's exactly what Catriella is doing. She's about to start on the next level. I won't say what that next level is yet, but I am so proud of this student. And I want you to be proud of yourself. But how do you get there? You work hard on your goals. And that starts with you first setting a goal. But then you need accountability. Who are you accountable to? This year, give yourself a goal to get more training. If you've listened to my podcast, you know I have online trainings. But right now, to enroll in my courses, that is now closed. It will open soon in the future, but right now it's closed to enroll. However, there's training all over. I want you to find a course, a lesson, a program. Maybe it's a free YouTube channel. Find something that can help you grow in your photography. Find a mentor, somebody who could take you by the hand and push you. Push your limits. Someone who can look at your work, critique it, and critique it in a way that doesn't destroy you. We all know about that. That's out there. I don't subscribe to that type of critique because I've seen the damage that that can do. Critiques can help you. A coach can help you. But the first step, that first step comes from you. You must take the first step. Let's make this year special. The year that you get to your next level. There's a lot of training out there. The one great thing about the pandemic is it has caused a lot of people to create training for photography to take you to your next level. And because we are all, for the most part, locked within our own communities and can't get out, a lot of the training is online. I will be opening my course again at the end of this month for enrollment. If you're interested, stay tuned. But don't just stop with me. There's a lot of amazing information out there. I just spoke yesterday for an amazing program called Evening with the Masters, an incredible program. Now, the great thing about Evening with the Masters is that you're getting a lot of material from different photographers, as they all go through their life story. You learn from those stories. Each speaker picks a charity, and all the money raised goes toward that charity or that organization. For mine, I chose NYC SALT. I know, funny name, but NYC SALT has a mission to engage, to inspire, and empower underserved youth to help them to reach their full potential as photographers or videographers. It's a great organization, and I'm very proud to be able to support them through Evenings with the Masters. If you want to know more about Evening with the Masters, go to Nobechi Creative. Nobechi is spelled Nobechi, Nobechi Creative, NobechiCreative.com. If you want to hear amazing speakers all year long, check it out. You can pick any photographer to listen to. It's very inexpensive, and 100% of your registration goes towards the organization that photographer selects. Each photographer will select their own charity or organization, and for me, it was NYC SALT. Definitely a great organization. Again, it is called Nobechi Creative, Nobechi, Nobechi Creative. If you sign up, tell George I said hello and that I sent you. So if you're in a rut, how do you break out and get to your next level? You find help to pull you out of that rut and push you and help you get to your next level. There's a lot of great information out there. You've just got to go and grab it. If you're looking for individual training, like a coach, I will be opening my one-on-one sessions for the year very soon. Stay tuned for that and much more. All right, Photography Nation, Happy New Year once again. Get out there and dream big. We are in a brand new year. Things are changing for the better, step by step. Keep pushing yourself, keep dreaming big, stay positive, always dream big. Bye for now.